Friends, welcome to today's devotional. Our Bible verse today is found in Genesis 32, verse 24. Then Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until the breaking of the day. There are several things that were characteristic of Jacob before his experience at Jabbok. First, the sin of his deception of his father was ever before him. It had been 20 years, but for 20 years he had been struggling with guilt over the fraud. Something else had continued in his mind. He was aware that the angels were protecting him, but Jacob still thought that he had to do something to secure his own safety. He didn't believe that God could fulfill his promises made at Bethel without his help. Have you ever considered what one angel can do? What about the camp of the Assyrians, 185,000 strong? You know that story from 2 Kings 19, verse 35. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead corpses. It was the work of one angel walking through the camp. Jacob knew that there were two companies of angels, one before and one behind. He even named the place after two companies. But he must not have known much about the strength of angels or the power of God to fulfill his promises. He still thought he had to do something. This is characteristic of the unsurrendered stance, thinking I have to do something for myself. Desire of Ages, page 280 explains, "This will prove the ruin of many souls in our day. Thousands are making the same mistake as did the Pharisees whom Christ reproved at Matthew's feast. Rather than giving up some cherished idea or discard some idol of opinion, many refuse the truth which comes down from the Father of light. They trust in self and depend upon their own wisdom and do not realize their spiritual poverty. They insist on being saved in some way by which they may perform some important work. When they see that there is no way of weaving self into the work, they reject the salvation provided." We are told that Jacob came from that night of wrestling by the Jabbok, a different man. This was 20 years after his conversion. Self-confidence was finally uprooted at Jabbok. Absolute dependence upon God was discovered by Jacob that night. From that point forward, the early cunning was no longer seen. His life was marked by simplicity and truth. He had learned the lesson of simple reliance upon heavenly power.